Today's Murli is a Murli dated 31st of December 1970. This Murli is full of points for dharana, and Baba is focused on the power of transformation right from the beginning of Amrit Vela. And then he takes us to the whole journey of how we need to imbibe the power of transformation. So let's read this Murli together. Title of this Murli is Experimenting with the Power of Transformation from Amrit Vela. Today, Bab Dada is seeing the ones of the present and the future who have a right to the kingdom of the world. That is, he is seeing the children in the form of world benefactors and also as them being those who have a right to the kingdom of the world. To the extent that you become a world benefactor, accordingly, you become one who has a right to the kingdom of the world. In order to attain both of these rights, you especially need the power of self-transformation. The other day too, you were told how to use the power of transformation in your activities from Amrit Vela until night. Just give me a minute. As soon as you open your eyes, the first transformation is I am not this body, but I am a soul. This is the first transformational thought at the beginning of the day. The timetable for the whole day is based on this first thought. If there hasn't been transformation in your first thought, then throughout the whole day, you will not be able to be successful in your own self-sovereignty or in bringing about world benefit. So the very first thought for transformation Bab is talking about is, I'm not my body, but I'm a soul. Use the power of transformation from the first moment of the day. Just as at the beginning of the world, deity souls, Satopradhan souls come from the Brahma element to play their part, so every day Amrit Vela is the first moment of the day. Therefore, in this first moment of the day, as soon as you wake up, the first thought you should remember to have is, I, this Brahmin soul, have incarnated in order to celebrate a meeting with the Father. This powerful thought will become the basis for elevated thoughts, elevated words, and elevated actions. The first transformation is, who am I? So this foundation is the basis for the power of transformation. After this, the second transformation, to whom do I belong? With whom do I have all relationships? From whom do I receive all attainments? First of all, there is the transformation of the body, and then the transformation of the relationships of the body. And then, on the basis of relationships, there is the transformation of attainments. This transformation is called easy remembrance. So, you can claim all rights from the very beginning of on the basis of the power of transformation. Now Baba is talking about after Amrit Vela. So while Baba is talking to us through this Murli, let's reflect every point that he's speaking on the power of transformation. After Amrit Vela, while carrying out all your physical activities of the body, which transformation is necessary? Through which you can become a constant and easy yogi. Always have the thought, I am a living, most elevated idol, and this is a temple. This body is the living temple of the living idol, and I am decorating the temple. Bab Dada's most beloved idol is seated in this temple. And Bab Dada himself turns the beads of the rosary of the virtues of this idol. Imagine the intoxication of experiencing that my body is a temple and I'm the soul seated here in a deity form. The Father himself praises this idol. So, who is carving my idol? The Supreme Father. Look at the beauty in which he's carving the idol, the soul, which is seated in this temple. This is a special temple of such a special idol. To the extent that an idol is valuable, so the value of the temple is based on that value of the idol. So, what is the transformation you have to bring about? This is not my body, but it is the temple of Bab Dada's valuable idol. You yourself are the idol, and you must continue to decorate the temple as the trustee of the temple. On the basis of this transformational thought, the consciousness of mind, that is, body consciousness, will be transformed. After this, always have the form of your being a godly student in your consciousness. So next thought Papa is talking about is always remembering that you are a godly student. What is the special transformational thought you need for this? The thought through which the study of every second and the imbibing of every invaluable word create elevated reward for the present and the future every second. So whatever I'm studying today is God's knowledge, which is filling my soul with all the values and virtues and getting me ready to enter the golden age. That's future every second is what Baba means here. For this, you constantly need the transformational thought. And what is that thought? I am not an ordinary student And this is not an ordinary study, but the Father himself comes every day from the faraway land to teach me directly. The versions of God are my study. The elevated directions, Srimad, of the one who is doubly elevated are our study, and every word of the study is one that enables me to accumulate an income of multi-millions. If you do not imbibe just one word, then you have not just missed a word, but you have missed out on earning an income of multi-millions on an elevated reward for many births and on attaining an elevated status. The transformational thought you should have is, God is speaking and I am listening to him. God is speaking and I am listening to him. The Father, in the form of the teacher, has come for me. I am a special beloved student. This is why Baba has come for me. Where has he come from? Who has come? And what is he teaching? Imbibe these elevated transformational thoughts at the time of class every day and then study. This is not an ordinary class. Do not see the person who is relating the words to you, but remember whose words they are. Keep that one in front of you. See the incorporeal Father and the Avyakt Father in the corporal form. So, do you understand what transformation you have to bring about? Let us go further. We have studied the study. What do we have to do now? Now we come to the part of service. In service, whatever type of service it is, whether of the household or your interaction with others, or godly service, if your household and your logic relationships are based on karmic bondages, while doing service in the household, have the transformational thought, I am now living a life where I have died alive. That is, logic karmic bondages have now finished. No matter how sinful a soul may be, how detrimental he may be, they may be like strokes. Do not have feelings of hatred. Do not have distaste and do not be disrespectful to them. But stabilize yourself in the stage of a world benefactor. Be merciful and have feelings of compassion and serve them, considering them to be relationships for service. Then, to the extent that you serve hopeless cases, accordingly, you will claim a right to as many prizes. You will be remembered as a famous world benefactor. You will claim the prize of a peacemaker. So, while living at home with the family, have this transformational thought. What is this transformational thought? Listen carefully as each one of us, while we do our tasks, can come in connection with relationships, can imbibe this on an ongoing basis. Instead of karmic bondages, they are relationships for service. However, while doing service, do not develop attachment. Very, very subtle space for us to check. Baba says, while doing service, do not develop attachment. Sometimes even doctors become attached to their patients. Imagine if doctors become attached to their patients, how will they perform a surgery on a patient? Relationships for service means to have the form of a tyagi, a renunciate, and a tapasvi, one engaged in deep meditation. The qualifications of a true server are renunciation and tapasya. In the same way, in your interaction, you are doing that according to the directions for the livelihood of the body. But the main basis should be for the livelihood of the soul. Do not forget the livelihood of the soul because of the livelihood of the body. Underline this statement. Do not forget the livelihood of the soul because of the livelihood of the body. While interacting in the world with all responsibilities, there should be a balance between the livelihood of the soul and the livelihood of the body. Otherwise, the interaction will become a net of Maya. The more you spread such a net, the more you will be trapped in it. While increasing your wealth, you should not forget the method of remembrance. The method that is vidhi in Hindi of remembrance and the increase in Hindi, it says vriddhi of wealth should both go together. Do not leave aside the method and trying to increase your wealth. This is called transforming from logic, physical karma into the stage of being a karma yogi. So the method of becoming a karma yogi is transforming from logic physical karma into the stage of being a karma yogi. We shall ruminate this further while we're taking the churnings today. You are not those who just perform karma, but you are karma yogis. Karma means interaction, and yoga means for the sake of God. That is, you are doing it to serve the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. So there should be both interaction and doing something for the sake of God. This is called being karma yogis who follow Srimad. So which karma yogis follow Srimad? So karma yogis are the one who follow Srimad. What transformation do you have to bring about while interacting? I am not just someone who interacts, but one who interacts as well as one who does something for the sake of God. In Hindi, we have a very nice word for the sake of God, and that is Paramarth. That, that is, whatever I am doing, I am doing it for the sake of godly service. I am a combined form of interacting and doing it for the sake of God. If you have this transformational thought constantly in your consciousness, your mind and body will continue to earn a double income. You will continue to receive physical wealth and also continue to accumulate the imperishable wealth through the mind. At one moment, in the one body, you will be able to earn a double income through the mind and the body. So always remember that you are one who earns a double income. In this godly service, constantly think of the mantra of being an instrument and being Karanhar, the one who does everything. You must not forget Karavanhar, the one who gets everything done through others. Then, in service, you will constantly continue to be constructive. So, the method of being constructive is what Baba has mentioned. And let's take this point of the Murli as an homework for the day. Further, how we move now, let's move a little further. You come into connection with many types of people as well as things and material comforts. How should we deal with this in a transformational way? Let's look at this. In this too, instead of having corporal feelings for people, imbibe feelings for the soul. Imbibe an attitude that is free from attraction to things and material comforts. The things and material comforts will then serve as servants for those who have an attitude free from being attracted. However, those who are attracted to such things will be trapped by them like a magnet. Then you would not be able to become free even if you wish so. Therefore, in connection with things and material comforts, transform that into feelings of the soul and an attitude free from being attracted. Go even further. When you see any attractive scenes of the old world, or when you use the facilities provided for temporary happiness, then while seeing those scenes or using those facilities, you sometimes forget your spiritual endeavor and become caught up in the facilities. So you get caught up in these sadhans more and forget your sadhana. You become influenced by the facilities. Spiritual endeavor based on the instruments, sadhan, is like constructing a building on a foundation of sand. Imagine if a building constructed on a foundation of sand, what will happen to the building? What would the state of that be? It will repeatedly fluctuate in an upheaval. The condition of it would be that it is about to collapse. Therefore, bring about the transformation of the instruments being perishable and your spiritual endeavor being imperishable. You cannot have imperishable spiritual endeavor based on perishable instruments. The instruments are just to be used for the sake of it, but it is your spiritual endeavor that is the basis of construction. So do not give importance to the instruments, but instead give importance to the spiritual endeavor. Do not give importance to the instruments, but instead give importance to the spiritual endeavor. Always have the consciousness that you are an embodiment of success. मैं विजयी आत्मा हूँ, not an embodiment of the instruments. Spiritual endeavor will enable you to attain success. Do not forget being the embodiment of success by being attracted to the instruments. While seeing all Lokik things, while listening to all Lokik things, and while seeing all Lokik scenes, transform the Lokik into the Alokik. That is, become an embodiment of knowledge and take the aspects of knowledge from everything. Do not engross yourself in those things, but go into the depths of the knowledge in them. It's only when you deep dive in the ocean will we be able to get the pearls. So do not engross yourself in those things, but go into the depth of the knowledge in them. So, do you understand what transformation you have to bring about? Acha. Now go even further. What else now remains? Now, your sleeping still remains. Sona to sleep is called. Baba is a real creative articulation that he does. Sona in Hindi, and that is sleep, also means the word gold, Sona, as in gold. Now, your sleeping still remains. Sona means to go to sleep in the golden world. There's such an intoxicated space to go to sleep in the night. Let's also practice this tonight when we go to sleep. Sona means to go to sleep in the golden world. Now, transform your way of sleeping. Do not sleep on your bed. So, where will you sleep instead? You will sleep in the lap of Baba's remembrance. In your dreams, tour around the world of angels. So, transform your dreams and also transform your sleeping. Change everything from the beginning to the end. Do you understand how you have to use the power of transformation? This new year's gift is the power of transformation. Self-transformation and world transformation. It is with the lift of this gift that you will bring the time of world transformation close. Everyone gives greetings for the new year, but Bab Dada is giving you congratulations for the new year in advance for constantly bringing about newness in the intensity of your efforts. We are also heading towards New Year, just 21 days ahead from now. Baba is congratulating us 21 days before we are entering the new year, the Lokik New Year 2023. Congratulations for the newness of the new year. And let's take all of that Baba is talking today as power of transformation to practice from today for the next 21 days and bring about this transformation for ourselves newly in a new way on 1st January 2023. If you all agree on this, just raise your virtual hands. Congratulations for the newness of the new year, for the new sanskars, a new nature, new zeal and enthusiasm, for having the elevated thought of making the world new, and for constantly having the elevated thought of giving everyone the blessings of liberation and liberation in life. Congratulations for saying goodbye to the old sanskars, the old behavior, the old supports, and everything of the old. Acha. To those who bring about world transformation and their own transformation with the power of transformation through their every action, to those who make every second, every thought, and every action new, that is golden aged, to those who make them elevated and satopradhan, to those who show a new miracle in the self and in the world in the new year, to those who easily make possible that which is even now considered impossible for the self and the world, to such souls who are constantly embodiments of success, to such elevated souls who have the attainments. Just give me a minute. To success and to such elevated souls who have the attainment of all success, love, remembrance, and namaste from Bab Dada. From us souls, love, remembrance, and namaste to Bab Dada. Om Shanti. Let's observe silence for few moments and then we shall unmute ourselves to share the points of the Murli. Unmute and share your takeaways in today's Murli.
Om Shanti, sister.
Shanti.
Today's title is Experimenting the Power of Transformation from Amrit Vela. Baba is giving many points of dharana, power of transformation. Baba is focused to throw to visible power of transformation. First transformation is, I am a soul, not a body. Second transformation, to whom do I belong, with whom I have to have relationship and whom I attend that transformation. Third is, always remember that we are a godly student. He is coming from very far away from land to give us this study. This is not an ordinary study. We are not an ordinary student. The Father is is coming in the form of a teacher and giving us this knowledge. I am a special beloved student. I have to remember this always. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Om Shanti, Divine Family. I am accepting this challenge and I'm starting practicing tonight. At sleeping time, I will practice, and I am sleeping in a golden age. I'm sleeping in his remembrance, Baba's remembrance. Amrit vela, early in the morning, I will practice. My first thought will be tomorrow. I'm not a body, I'm a soul. Who I belong to Supreme Soul. And I'm studying in godly school where Baba is teaching me absolute truth to become a truthful being. So me right now as ordinary human being is transferring into extraordinary, a special, truthful being. So these two changes I'm starting tonight. Thank you. Om Shanti Ji.
Thank you, sister, for sharing that and declaring the beauty of you taking up and imbibing these few points of transformation. Thanks for sharing that.
Om Shanti. Today's Murli is really a great Murli, very practical Murli to transform. And Baba says transformation has to be done at the basic root level, thought level, and also from the very first moment of the day. Well beginners, half done. So I'll practice is basically I am a Brahmin soul. And I have incarnated in this confluence age, this world where Sakar Baba is there in order to celebrate a meeting with the Father. We have read in the Hindu mythology also that when God incarnates, God comes to the world and he plays various Leela, so then Devi Devta have come to this world to actually experience that physically in Sakar form. It was our Gayan only during the conference age. So that gives me a lot of intoxication that I have incarnated to actually have a meeting with him. Om Shanti.
Yes, brother, you pointed out that very well that today's Murli is so practical in approach to every minute of how to imbibe Srimad and how to be in the intoxication of who I am in this conference age. Every single point of today's Murli is something we can take up as homework to reflect back, not just to reflect back, but to imbibe and practice. And as Sister Balwinder spoke about how to sleep tonight, I think that's the beginning of starting the next day. And I myself is taking up each point of today's Murli. While sleeping, even before going to sleep, going to sleep, as a practice, though I faltered a couple of times, to read an Avek Murli before I go to sleep. So that's another thing which I am taking for myself to start every day regularly before I go to sleep. Om Shanti. Someone has
Om Shanti,
unmuted. Yes,
sister.
Lakshmi, go ahead.
Om Shanti, sister. Now I
Yes,
take this point also. Transformation while doing services. When I'm doing services in the household task, I'm not living in, I have died. And then I am coming from the lokic karmic bondage. Due to that, I am doing that. And I will, when I come in contact with the relationship, I will not develop any attachment. So this point also, I will definitely make use of it daily task. Thank you, sister.
And just connecting to this point, Baba further speaks about how to take care of being in places where you feel, you get into probably an attachment or an attraction, or you may say this is someone I don't like. Where he mentions distaste, he said, do not consider anyone as something that you don't like. Just consider that you are here for service, and this is going to be your kingdom in the golden age. Just serve full hearted, and you will receive the prize. And while I was reading this, what I was getting present was in today's world, even those souls who have served in challenging areas or served at places where it was not very easy to serve are the Nobel Prize winner for peace. Om Shanti.
Shanti sister. My takeaway point is Babdada just as always have one thought. I am a living, most elevated idol, and this is a temple. This body is living temple of the living idol, and I am decorating the temple. Babdada's most beloved idol is seated in this temple. The Father himself praises that. The transformation I have to bring is this is not my body, but it is a temple of Babdada's valuable life. Myself, myself for the idol, and I must continue to decorate the temple as the trustee of the temple on the basis of transformation thought. The body consists of mind and I will disappear. Hereafter, I will practice these versions of Babdada option.
Yes, yes. Om Shanti sister. Another thing is while interacting in the world with all, there should be a balance between the livelihood of the soul and the livelihood of the body. So when I'm interacting, if this net is spreaded, then we are trapped by the Maya. So I should be very careful that we are not trapped by the Maya by doing this. Thank you, sister.
ओम शांति. दिस कंसेप्ट ऑफ मंदिर के अंदर मैं चैतन्य मूर्ति आत्मा हूँ. मैं आत्मा एक चैतन्य मूर्ति हूँ. आई थिंक दैट इट्स अ वेरी वेरी इफेक्टिव टूल. मंदिर इन हिंदी, इफ वी गो टू द वर्ड्स, मंदिर मीन्स मन के अंदर. बुद्धि, इंटेलेक्ट इज विजुअलाइजिंग that I am a Chaitanya Sitara, I am a Chaitanya Murat Atma, Ishta Devi, inside the temple, which is basically the physical with body, within the body, in the between the eyebrows. I am wo Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha is something where everything gets generated, you know, स्थापना होती है. तो वहाँ ये श्रेष्ठ संकल्प, that elevated thoughts, if I create, it's a very effective. I have personally experienced this. That and in this temple no waste is allowed, no kind of garbage is allowed inside this temple. And who is nourishing this Chaitanya Murat, that living idol, is Swayam Babdada. And he is praising, he's praising his living idol. I mean, it's an intoxication of the highest level. And who is praising his children? And that's a very effective tool. Second, that I am a doctor. Whenever I am playing any role, I should not get attached to that role or the person or the object, because I am a doctor. How can I be attached to a patient? If any weak soul I come across, I should not get attached. Or whether because of seeing any weakness. And third thing is that I'm an instrument, Nimit, and God is the doer. Actual doer is God. He is Sarathi. He is Karan Karavatar. I'm just an instrument. And finally, Baba talks also about the attitude, that do not forget the attitude of renunciation. Because my sadhana is not depending on any perishable vinashi. Meri sadhana is dependent on avinashi, because I am avinashi. I am an embodiment of imperishable attainments. So my attainments cannot be from the perishable persons, perishable things, objects, or any name, fame. That's a very deep point. And last point is, I am an embodiment of knowledge. And whatever I see in this Lokik world also, I imbibe the aspects of knowledge. That imperishable knowledge I'll try to draw by, for example, earlier sessions also, one brother had discussed this. Suppose I see a board of smart city. Then from smart, I imbibe the imperishable knowledge, which what Bab Dada has told me. That smart means somebody who maintains a chart of every hour. Something we relate the Lokik things into alokik way. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Very well brought out the point that who is decorating me, who is making me ready today and for the golden world is none other than the Supreme Father. And thank you for bringing up the meaning of the word Mandir, Om Bhai.
Yeah, in Hindi, actually, some words in Hindi there's no replacement in English of those words. I
Very
mean,
true.
absolutely, very, very spiritually, that
Yes.
having that feeling, that exact, to the point, that word, mandir. And here, and if you see temple, then we
Hmm.
keep, wondering how do we, uh, how do we analyze a temple, So Hindi words really give a very befitting, very accurate, yatharth meaning.
Agree.
Om Shanti sister. Today I will definitely put efforts to forget my old sanskars, old behavior, and old support and everything in the world, and bring new sanskars, new nature, and new zeal and enthusiasm. As Baba has already congratulated us for doing this, so I will definitely take this point and I will work on it. Thank you, sister.
Bijit Bhai, Sakshi Ben, Kalpesh Bhai, Chandrakala Ben, Ami Ben. Any sharings from you, Rachna Ben?
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Today's Murli is a very transformation, and there is a root level. And when we transform, and I transform, the world will transform. तो ये है हम यानी मैं बदला तो जिंदगी और बदल देंगे यानी right.
Right. So the work of transformation starts from self and then
Yes,
goes as a ripple in the world.
yes.
Yes, Bijit brother.
No, Shanti, yeah. Sister, I liked what Baba said about I am a Brahmin soul who incarnated in order to meet and celebrate a meeting with the God. So very intoxicating point. So I'm going to churn more on this. This is the takeaway for me today, and I'm going to put it into practice. Thank you. Om
Thank
Shanti.
you, Prabhu. Om Shanti.
One point I would like to share with everyone is the concept of Paramarth. If we see, Baba is talking about the journey from Lokik to Alokik. In Lokik, we used to be mostly give and take relationships. If I give, I expect something, back from the soul. And that is called Swarth, kind of a business relationship. And when we came into the GAN, when I came into the GAN, then I realized that whatever I give, I should not have any expectation. It is for the seva I am doing it. So that is the real Purusharth. Purush means Atma. And I am doing it for the sake of soul because I have realized that at the soul level, it's not a give and take relationship. In body consciousness level, it is a give and take relationship. But at the soul level, it is always a give relationship. And because I am giving for the sake of God. So that is the for Sevarth, Purusharth, then Sevarth, and then it is Paramarth. Final destination is the Paramarth, where everything is of God's. Even I am, my Merapar is also of God, merged with God. And whatever my thoughts, words, and actions are there, they are played by God only. The doer is God. I am just an instrument. That is the in at the level of that Paramarth. Whatever I am doing, I am not doing, Baba is doing, and and also for the sake of his service. So that's a very highest kind of thing. Om Shanti.
Yeah, and in Hindi we say swart. No, there's a saying which says परमार्थ को घड़ना पड़ता है, स्वार्थ अपने आप होता है. So the
Yes.
selfish
Yes.
space will happen by itself. For parmarth, you need to take conscious efforts, and once you imbibe that conscious efforts, it becomes an easy journey. Because when parmarth is happening, everything else has been taken care of.
Yes, yes, yes. And Baba always brings this concept of income, imperishable income. Uh, in Lokik also, whoever is earning an income always is always alert in attention. He sacrifices meals also for the sake of income. Same concept if applied in spirituality, it's really tremendous kind of intoxication it gives. Because I am earning an income of दुआएं, दुआ कमाना है, दुआओं का खाता. So that is at the Paramarth level. When I'm doing everything for the sake of God, then automatically that duai will come. But I'm not expecting those duai, but they will be automatic process. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
Yeah, go ahead.
Baba is also telling not to give importance to instrument, but for instead you have to give up the spiritual endeavor. Always have the conscious that we are embodiment of success and not the embodiment of instrument. So spiritual endeavor will enable us to attain success. Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti, just one more thought. So Baba also said, I'm a living, most elevated idol in the temple. So Baba used this word temple, right? Mandir. So yesterday's Murli also in Sakar Murli, Baba used that mandir word in Vardhan to constantly be aware, being the, we are worthy of worship souls present in the temple. So no waste thoughts are allowed to this temple.
Yes.
So very connecting words. Yeah.
Yes, 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 brother. I also was thinking that only in the initial when these lines were being read. Yesterday, Vardhan also it had the similar thing. Baba has actually given us a very practical tool to always consider when I'm taking a bath, I am, cleaning the temple, the premises of temple. And within temple, where should I focus? Is at the Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha is the man. Man pops up various thoughts. So Garbhagriha, and the Garbhagriha ke andar also I have to focus only on that living idol, which is I can decorate with various divine virtues. I can decorate with each and every virtue. There are, 33 crore Devi Devta means every 33 crore, there are virtues. Every Devi Devta is unique for some particular virtue. So this is a good practice. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. As I accepted this 21 days challenge, I am adding one more line. I'm also committed to change my old sanskar for 21 days in order to become a new habit for new coming year. So I'm changing my thinking style, thinking pattern, my old nature, my unhealthy living style, way of thinking, way of speaking, way of interacting with my family, and my unhealthy eating habit. Complete transformation I'm going to bring. So for 21 days, I'm adding as well. So along with my previous affirmation that I declared, can I also add when I say, I'm soul, I belong to Supreme Soul? The next question is, where is he? If I consider I am in combined form, then can I also add one more line that this body is a beautiful temple, mandir, and he is in this mandir. Combined with my soul, or with me, that Om Bai described as mandir and living ideal. So Baba, Supreme Soul, and this living ideal, they are together in this sacred space in my brain, in the center of my brain, or which gives a reflection in the center of my forehead. Can I also add that?
Yes, sister, it's going to be your creation, what gives you a thought to transform, put it across to Bab Dada, and you can take it up.
Okay, because I do not know much Hindi. Om Bai, he described beautifully difference between Paramarth, Swarth, and another one was Purusharth. I thought Purusharth mean intense effort maker or effort, right? But I learned something new today. Purusharth does not mean effort. Purusharth mean Om Bai. If you could
Om
kindly
Shanti.
repeat.
I'll just add a one line. Purusharth is means I am. Baba said, "Na, who am I?" The answer to that is Purusharth. Whatever the consciousness of soul, that I am a soul, मैं एक आत्मा हूँ, चैतन्य मूर्त आत्मा हूँ. So what I am, the effort towards being a soul, to realize, to experience the soul consciousness stage is Purusharth. Whatever activity, whatever your effort, which makes this as a deep feeling, is a Purusharth. Whether it is a
Okay.
study or amrit vela, numasham, everything contributes to this stage of soul consciousness. That is Purusharth. But Paramarth is duaएं kamana. Paramarth is like when you are in very, very powerful soul consciousness stage, automatically the divine virtues, they will flow, that energy will flow around you. Whoever comes in that contact will always get elevated, that vibrations will catch, and they will also get transformed. But the beginning has to be from the Purusharth, and the destination is the Paramarth, where every doer is also Baba. I am not that I and me consciousness also dissolves. And finally, it is Baba is doing everything. You leave everything to Baba. But only thing is, I have to be always soul consciousness. And second thing, what you said is that in the temple, you can always. The answer is yes. You can always visualize Baba is right in front of you, right, just very near in front of you. And I am a Ruhani student. I am a godly student, and he's giving me, that knowledge, and I'm imbibing it drop by drop and visualizing. I'm doing a Vichar Sagar Manthan of that. And again, I'm aware that some divine virtue is lacking in me. I'm making it up for it. I'm imbibing it from God, and I'm decorating myself. But with the help of God, He's always in front of me. 24 hours, if you can imagine this is the best kind of practice one can do. Oh.
So I don't have to go to Parmdam each time I am looking for him. I can experience his presence with me all the time?
Yeah, you can bring the Paramdham down also with your imagination. It is, as sister said, na, it is your creative imagination. But for that, we have to be very, very silent. No locking thoughts should come inside. The temple, locking thoughts, ordinary thoughts are not allowed. You have to make a no entry into that. Be in a very, very deep silence, ekant, solitude, ek Baba or main. Then you will experience Paramdham energy here only. Because Paramdham, whatever is your deep thinking in the Antarmukhi, will lead to Paramdham only. But it's not
Oh,
physically, if you are going physically, your body cannot enter Paramdham. Your mind will enter Paramdham. You as a soul can enter Paramdham, but not the body or the matter or the sound. I hope you are clear. Om Shanti.
yeah. Thank you, Baiji. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, in the interest of time, before we move on to meditation, there's a small announcement. The same Murli that we are reading and churning today, Sarabhai will be deepening this Murli further. So while we meet tomorrow morning for a Murli Manthan session, recommend that we read this Murli again and come with our experience for the whole day with this uh, Murli points and ready to share tomorrow. And let's take the benefit of this session by coming prepared for the session tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Amiben, we can have the music played, and for a minute, let's experience the points of the Murli today. Let's be in silence and experience what Baba means when he says to transform your old sanskars to new sanskars. And I, the soul, was been decorated by the Supreme Soul to become the deity. Om Shanti. We shall meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and let's pot in our plants that Baba says power of transformation. The whole day, let's experience each point of this Murli and imbibe them. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sir.
Om Shanti, sister. Thank you.